What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Monday, April 26th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter, @Josh Engleman, so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Tobias Harris, Cole Anthony, Cedi Osman, D'Angelo Russell, and Terrence Mann on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It is time to find out. First up is a little bit of a question mark, but there's some value here, and that would be center Daniel Gafford. He's 3,900, projected for 24. The goal is 36. He's in the optimal lineup 16% of the time. Now, Gafford's minutes are the biggest question mark here. I don't really feel comfortable. He could play 16, he could play 24. I've got him in for 22 at 1.09 fantasy points per minute. That's not even anything too crazy. But at that rate, 17% usage, that's 10.6 boards and 2 blocks in 22 minutes. He has the ability to accumulate stats quickly, and if the minutes go up, it's even more interesting. At a sub 4K price tag, it's not even all that difficult to fit him in. It's a pace neutral spot for the Wizards against the Spurs. It's not the best spot in the world against Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl is a fantastic defensive center. I'm not all that worried about it, though, at 3,900. The big piece here for me in a GPP, if Daniel Gafford's picking up a lot of ownership, I'm not going to be as interested. Center is absolutely loaded. So I want to be on Gafford if he's not picking up a ton of ownership, but if he becomes the chalk, I'm a little bit more nervous. In a cash game scenario, I'm also a little nervous because his playing time is completely up in the air. Speaking of cheap guys that make me nervous, number 4, Jaden McDaniels, power forward eligible. He is 3,500, projected for 21. The goal is 34. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. There are a lot of pay-up options on this slate, so guys like McDaniels help to open it up. And McDaniels plays a ton of minutes. He's not a very good fantasy performer. In fact, I've got him projected for 0.67 fantasy points per minute today. That's terrible. But in 32 minutes, 9 points, 4.5 boards, an assist, a steal, a block. Difficult matchup against Utah, but I think McDaniels would soak up the time. But when push comes to shove, there's not a ton of value out there in general. You're seeing McDaniels in the 4 spot only at 20% ownership, or 20% optimal. It's really hard to separate from the pack today. We just don't have those key value plays as of yet. So McDaniels will fall here. But for right now, if you need to buy minutes cheaply, McDaniels is one of the better options you can find. You just have to cross your fingers. You're using guys like Jaden McDaniels so that you can get to my number 3 center eligible NIKOLA JOKIC. He is 11K, projected for 59. The goal is 60.5. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. Now, we know what we're getting here with JOKIC, but now we have no Murray, no Monty Morris, no Will Barton. That's more creation and more load falling on the shoulders of JOKIC. I've got him in for 35 minutes at 1.7 DraftKings points per minute. 35% usage, almost 32 real points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 stocks. Pace up spot against the Memphis Grizzlies. He's going to have to do it all. Denver needs him now. They're now down 2 legitimate starters. That's a problem. We're going to lean on JOKIC even more. And at 11K, I don't mind it one bit. You're going to need to find the value. And that's why you go to Gafford and McDaniels and Cedi Osman and Terrence Mann to a lesser extent. You need to find some money somewhere. But paying up for JOKIC, not going to be a problem at all. Now at number 2, we're going to point guard and shooting guard eligible TYRESE HALIBURTON. He is 6,800, projected for 38. The goal is 46. He's in the optimal lineup 22% of the time. HALIBURTON is seeing an increased everything with no De'Aaron Fox due to COVID. Fox out for, probably like another week and a half at least. So I've got HALIBURTON in for 36 minutes, played huge minutes in this last game. North of a fantasy point per minute, 21% usage. And he does a little bit of everything. 17.5 points. 7.5 assists, 3.5 boards, 2.2 stocks. That's pretty nice. It's a pace down spot against Dallas, which isn't ideal, but HALIBURTON is going to be more expensive than this moving forward. He just has to be. If he's playing 36 minutes a game with no De'Aaron Fox, everything is going to get bigger, including his price. But you can use him at point guard, you can use him at shooting guard, plus you get guard and utility. Pretty flexible, underpriced for the role. He's going to be popular today, as he should be. Cash game favorite for me. You got to be playing TYRESE HALIBURTON. Now, before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Then head to Twitter and follow me at Josh Engleman. You do not want to miss the sim results. That's where I will be posting them as we get closer to lock. Finally, underneath this video, comment section, I want to know your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the contender that you think should be on this list that you do not see. Now, if NIKOLA Jokic wasn't your cup of tea, go to my number one contender. That is center Joel Embiid. He's 10,200, projected for 55.5. The goal is 57.5. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. It's really hard not to like Joel Embiid here. We're not going to have Ben Simmons. Now, we need Embiid to be on the floor, but I expect him to play here. 33 minutes, 1.69 fantasy points per minute, 39% usage. Embiid's usage goes off the reservation when Ben Simmons isn't on the floor. 32 real points, 11 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a block and a half, and a pace-up spot against Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Thunder cannot guard him. It's certainly not Tony Bradley, and I'm sure Embiid knows that from practice. It's not going to be Moses Brown, and it's certainly not going to be Isaiah Roby. Really difficult to see a situation where Joel Embiid doesn't smash. Now, the problem here could be that Joel Embiid plays 26 minutes. It's also very possible that if Joel Embiid plays 26 minutes, he has 55 fantasy points because he averaged more than 2 fantasy points per minute. That is on the table as far as I'm concerned. So I don't want to go a different direction. I actually like paying up for both Embiid and Jokic at the same time. They are very clearly my 2 preferred pay up options. So Joel Embiid is the number one contender on DraftKings today. Trust the process. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Monday, April 26th. The process show is in the books. FanDuel version of this video is around here somewhere. Strategy show, 10 a.m. with Laffy. We're breaking down all 11 games. Come join in on the fun. And then myself and Greg Ehrenberg tonight, 6 p.m. live before lock, breaking it all down. It is going to be a hectic live before lock. You do not want to miss it, so make sure you tune in. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.